What's up, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Sports Picks. Brian and I are going to have a great show for you this Friday and get you ready for the betting weekend. Brian, it's good to see you, buddy. How we doing?
Happy Friday, my man. What's happening? Nice picks last night. You had a nice Tuesday as well. Allen's hot. I like it.
We've had a nice past week, really. It's been solid. So everybody out there, fade the hell out of me, I assure you. No, it's been nice, man. It's been really good. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. A to Z Sports Picks is brought to you every Tuesday and Friday by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Everybody, make sure to download that BetMGM app if you haven't done so. And if you do, use promo code A to Z 100. And if you bet $1, place a $1 bet today, money line on either the Clippers or the Mavs. If either team hits a three-pointer, you win $100 in free bets. Legitimately the easiest bet you could do. I've done it before. It works. Trust me, they get that money to you quick. That's BetMGM, the king of sports books. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Must be present in the state of Tennessee. For gambling problem support, call the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789. So, like I said, buddy, it's good to see you, man. What are you excited about this weekend? We're going to break it down, but, man, we've got playoffs are going crazy. The NBA is just fantastic, man, just night after night delivering. And, we saw the end of LeBron's run last night, at the hands of the Suns. That was a wild series, considering when that series was announced, all the high numbers that were coming in on the Lakers. And they just had a tough season, injuries, etc. But the Suns got it, moved along. And let's jump right in, man. Let's break down what we got on the board for this weekend. So tonight, only one NBA game. We got the Clippers at the Mavericks. Mavericks lead the series 3-2. The Clippers are, I believe, last I saw, 3-point favorite, total of around 216.5. What are you seeing tonight, man? Are the Clippers going to even this thing out, get to a game 7? Do the Mavericks shut it down in advance? What are you seeing, buddy?
I hope the Mavs do that. I'm really rooting for Luka, man. He's so fun to watch, but he needs some help, man. I mean, Hardaway Jr. was the only guy that was in double figures, but they still won in Game 5. But, I mean, outside – Porzingis has got to give them something, and we're going to do some prop bets later on in the show. One's related to Porzingis, and I'll go ahead and tell you, I mean, his series high is 6 rebounds. I mean, he's giving them absolutely nothing. My guy, Dorian Finney-Smith's got to play better. They need to take some of the load off him. I mean, he's carried them in their 3 wins, but, they need Hardaway to have a big game. Porzingis has got to give them more, and it'll be tough to close the Clippers out. But from a betting perspective, I don't want anything to do with this game, man. The road teams won every game. This has been a hard series to call, and I'm probably going to be staying on the sidelines for that one.
Yeah, it's wild, and especially like what you were saying, when you've got a team like the Mavericks who are up 3-2, possible elimination game tonight, taking out the Los Angeles Clippers, and like you said, we really, beyond Luka, there really hasn't been anyone else like showing out at all. I mean, it just goes to show, one, how just damn good Luka is as a player. But I mean, you're right. Like, looking at it from a betting perspective, and I actually have a pick on this one that I'll break down in our next segment, but it just goes to show that if the Mavericks show up in full unit, they might hammer down on the Clippers. But again, there's a reason why it's a game 6, and it's going to be a fun one. The rest of the schedule tonight, we've got the Canadians at the Jets in the NHL. The Canadians lead that series 1-0. We've got the Avalanche at the Golden Knights. Colorado leads that series 2-0. And we've got the Dodgers at the Braves starting their weekend series. And just some notes on that. It's funny how all of this has kind of lined up. We talk about the Braves being good on a Friday this season. They're 5-2 on Fridays. And they're 7-3 when Ian Anderson starts, and we get both of those tonight. So the Dodgers are starting Julio Urias. The Braves, obviously, Ian Anderson. So I'm going to play this one, the Braves plus 1.5. I'm not going to play it at a full clip because, again, the Dodgers are really good, and we're going to break down more of that series. The Braves are going to be facing some pitching, buddy. Like, you're going to have Urias tonight, you're going to have Kershaw tomorrow, and you're going to have Bauer on Sunday, right? So, but the Braves have been playing well. The bats have been alive. We saw what they did against the Nationals. So, yeah, I'm going to play the Braves tonight at plus 1.5. You look at Saturday, again, one game in the NBA. We got the Bucks at the Nets, game 1. All right, so in Brooklyn, the Nets are a 4-point favorite. A big total here, 239.5. Brian, what are you thinking for game 1, man? What are you expecting?
I'm sorry, I was looking up a stat. Which game are you talking more?
You're good. Bucks Nets, game 1 on Saturday.
Man, I'm going to go with Milwaukee. So they played 3 head-to-head meetings this year. Milwaukee won 2 at home. Brooklyn won 1 at home. But Harden didn't play in any of those 3. So, we haven't seen Brooklyn at full strength like they are now. But, man, Milwaukee in games 2, 3, and 4, they beat Miami by 80 combined points. That was a Miami team that went to the finals last year and really brought everybody back except for Jay Crowder. And that was extremely impressive. And they're getting great play out of their bench. Bryn Forbes. Now, Connaughton's moved in the starting lineup since the DiVincenzo injury. But he was playing well off the bench. And, I think Drew Holiday is a really good defensive matchup on Kyrie Irving for Milwaukee. I mean, Kyrie's going to get his for sure, but Drew Holiday is one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. And then, for Durant, I mean, Middleton and Giannis are good. You're not going to stop him, but you're going to make life difficult for him. Both of those guys are really long and athletic. And, I just think Milwaukee's rolling right now. I mean, you look at Brooklyn, you're going to have to play some defense at some point. They give up 125 to Boston with no Jaylen Brown. And then in game 4 with no Kemba Walker or Jaylen Brown, they give up 126 to Boston. They give up 109 in the closeout game 5. That's just not getting it done on the defensive end. Milwaukee's got a lot more offensive weapons than Boston. I mean, Tatum is probably the best offensive weapon out of all the Milwaukee ones. But as a unit, I just think Milwaukee is better. I think they're going to win the series in 6, and I like them +4 in game 1.
Nice. Yeah, this is going to be a fun series, man. Like you said, I mean, we've got 2 really good teams. And you're right. I mean, everybody's looking at the Nets in terms of futures bets, to win it all. And you're right, man. Milwaukee's better than people think. They can put it on you. So we get that started on Saturday. That's our only NBA game. Saturday, we've got NHL. The Hurricanes at the Lightning. The Lightning lead that series 2-1. The interesting thing is this. The road team has won all 3 games in this series. So we saw what the Hurricanes did, obviously winning game 3. And we'll see, if Tampa Bay can, kind of buck that road trend. We've also got the Bruins at the Islanders. The Bruins lead that series 2-1. That's been a really fun series to watch. Just 2 solid hockey teams. It's just excellent hockey. And then they've got the Dodgers at the Braves, like we talked about Saturday night. Clayton Kershaw is going to be on the mound against Charlie Morton. Brian, we also had UFC on Saturday. It's not a massive card, from what we've seen, maybe the past couple weekends, but it's a good one. And you've got some thoughts on that, some picks. What are you seeing out of the UFC Saturday?
Okay, so in the co-main event, which is Marcin Tybura against Walt Harris, the big ticket Harris out of Birmingham, Alabama. Harris is a +150 underdog. He's off a couple of tough losses, but they were to highly ranked guys in Alistair Overeem and Alexander Volkov, who I believe is in the top 5 right now. I want to say he's 4th or 5th in the heavyweight division. Tybura has won 4 in a row, but he's been winning. I think maybe 1 or 2 of the guys was ranked, but in the 12 to 15 range. Harris has been facing tougher competition, and he could have beaten out Overeem. He had Overeem badly hurt late in the first round, and the ref didn't stop it, and the bell saved him. And then Harris got beaten in round 2. So I'm going to go with Walt Harris, a small play for a +150 return as an underdog. And I'm also going to play under 1.5 rounds, which means, for those unfamiliar with betting UFC, that the fight has to end before the 2.5-minute mark of round 2. So we've got all of round 1 and the first 2 minutes and 29 seconds of round 2, and as our 5-minute rounds. And under 1.5 will get us back a +150 return. And 5 of Walt Harris's last 8 fights have ended in round 1. And we get, again, another 2 minutes and 29 seconds beyond round 1. I think one of them is going to end each other in round 1. And look, we're +150 on both. Do the same amount. And if we get a split, we profit. If we sweep, we have a really nice night.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, I like it. I like your boy Big Ticket, man. That's a great nickname. Like, I love anytime somebody has a good fighting nickname. I think, was it last year? Did he fight Alistair Overeem
Yes, right. It was that second card in Jacksonville on the Wednesday night. I think it was the co-main event, and he had him badly hurt in round one, but Overeem was able to come back in round two.
Yeah, Overeem's a monster, man, for sure. So moving on, Sunday, we've got game one in the NBA of the Hawks at the 76ers. Right now, Philly sits a 2.5-point favorite at home, a total of 220.5. We just saw the Hawks and the Knicks have a tremendous series in terms of the Hawks just kind of kicking their ass, right? Like Trae Young looked good. The Hawks look good. The 76ers was really the most quiet series out of any in the first round. Obviously we saw the injury to Joel Embiid, but we have to assume he's probably going to be fully good to go, I assume. What are your thoughts here? We got a game one. This should be another just awesome NBA playoff series.
Yeah, so a lot of books have Philadelphia around minus 185 to minus 200, depending on where you are for the series price. You can get Atlanta around plus 160 at a lot of books. The game doesn't tip off till Sunday at 1, so I'm just kind of waiting. But I'll tell our listeners that if Joel Embiid gets ruled out, I'm going to bet Atlanta plus 2.5. And judging by the odds, I really feel like the odds makers don't expect him to play here in game one. And, they say he's got a partial tear of his meniscus, but, they had him warming up before game 5 against Washington a couple nights ago. He looked like he was moving pretty good. I've never had a partial meniscus tear, but I'm not 7 foot and 260 either. I would think a partial meniscus tear for a 7-footer is going to, I don't know if it's going to severely hamper him, but he definitely not going to be 100%. And I think that's factored into the line. So if he gets ruled out, I don't know that the line's going to change. I think the line is set with, thinking that he's not going to play. If he gets upgraded, I could maybe see the line moving from Philly minus 2.5 to 3.5 or 4. Now, if he were to play his normal game and doesn't look hurt, the line, and Philly wins and covers, the line would go back up to probably like 5.5 or 6 for game 2, I would think. But if Embiid gets ruled out, I'm going to take the Hawks plus 2.5. But I'm gonna wait. There's no rush, and I don't think the line is going to move unless it moves better for us, Atlanta backers.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, and that's a smart play. Just kind of hang tight, wait for that. That information. I'm with you on that. Now on Sunday, if necessary, if the Clippers win tonight, we'll have a game 7 on Sunday. It'll be Mavericks at the Clippers in Los Angeles. Obviously, there's no line set on that right now. It's still just an if necessary type game. But yeah, if LA wins tonight, expect that on Sunday. And we'll have a game 7 there. In the NHL, we've got the Jets at the Canadiens, the Avalanche at the Golden Knights. And then we've got also the Dodgers at the Braves again, which will be Trevor Bauer versus Max Fried. So in this series, at least, in baseball, with the Dodgers and the Braves in Atlanta, you're going to have some fantastic pitching, man. Like if anybody's out going to the game this weekend, if you're going to be watching it on TV, it's really going to be 3 excellent games. I can't wait to kind of sit and dig in on those. But yeah, so we've done enough breaking it down. Let's make some picks, man. What we call the special playoff parlay, our Friday parlay. We usually do a one-day deal, but obviously with it being the playoffs, you have nights like tonight where you have only one game. So, Brian, take a look at this weekend, man. You start us off. What parlay are you playing? I think you're on mute.
My fault, guys. Okay, when I had my 5 parlay winning streak, I was doing pretty chalky. I mean, some of the payouts were only in the plus 135, plus 150 range. This is going to be the first one where I really go for it. I'm going to go for a huge payout here. I've lost 2 in a row, trying to get back on the winning side. And I'm going to go with, for all 3 lines that we have for game 1, game 1s right now, I'm going to go money line underdogs.
Whoa.
So that excludes Dallas and the Clippers tonight. So we're going to go Milwaukee. A lot of books have it. Oh, it looks like the line is not as generous as it was earlier. It looks like our friends at BetMGM have Milwaukee at plus 140. Atlanta at plus 115, and Denver at plus 150. Okay, so I need to adjust the numbers that I had from earlier in my parlay calculator. So again, that's plus 140, plus 115, and plus 150. So I just need to adjust this plus 160 to plus 150. And that calculates to plus 1220. So $100 parlay would win 1,220. But I'm doing a bunch of underdogs here. I don't recommend betting it for 100. If your normal average bet is 50 to 100, then just do this parlay for 20 or 25. But it'll pay back plus 1220. So I'm going for a big one here. Now, let me also add this in. If the first two legs hit, that would be Milwaukee on Saturday and Atlanta on Sunday. You'll be in a great hedge position, and you should hedge with this much of a good payout on the Monday game, which is Denver at Phoenix. So if the first two hit, probably want to come back with a little bit of Phoenix money line. That way you can ensure that you're going to make a slight profit, and if Denver wins outright, you'll still make a big profit.
Nice. I like you swinging for the fences on this one, man. I like it, dude. I'm going to jump on that too, man. That's going to – I love parlays like that. Those are fun, you know? And obviously, you know, the payout, that part is fun too. I've got a two-leg parlay that are both games tonight. It pays out plus 272. First one, I'm going to ride the Mavericks plus 3 against the Clippers. I like them to close this thing out. I think that they do. I think that we're going to see – you know, a Dallas team, you know, Brian, like you had spoken about earlier, to where it's not all going to be on Luka. Don't get me wrong. I bet Luka has a monster game, and we're going to break that down in just a second in terms of our props and everything. But yeah, I'm going to ride Dallas on this one. They're 62% against the spread against the Clippers this year. In the playoffs, the Clippers have only hit 2 of 5 spreads. So I'm going to take my chances here. I'm going to ride the plus 3. I like that. Also, I'm going to take the Avalanche at the Golden Knights. I'm going to ride the over of 5.5. And here's the reason. You look at Colorado, they're the best team in the NHL. Like, they are just on fire, man. And I think that this is a game, I'm kind of playing the spot where I think Vegas is going to put themselves kind of back into the mix, but Colorado is going to keep the pressure up too. So I think if at any time that we're going to play the over in this series, so to say, I'm going to ride it. And you look at the Avalanche, they've hit the over in 4 of their last 5 games, and Vegas is 56% to the over this season at home. So I think this is a good opportunity to do that. So it's a 2-leg parlay, pays plus 272. And again, that is the Avalanche Golden Knights over 5.5 and the Mavericks plus 3. Now, speaking of that, we're going to take a look at BetMGM. We've talked about this before, a game that we like to play called Proper Parlay. And we take a look at the featured Lions boost, the featured bets, the featured props that BetMGM puts out there for these games tonight. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through this list of what is available, and everybody play along as well. Like, if you're in the chat, put it in which ones you would take. You can take as many as you want, but you got to choose at least one. And if you're just tuning in, let us know on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, anywhere. Let us know wherever you're consuming it. Let us know what you're playing. We want to see it. So let me read through these, and I'm going to give you a baseball one first, and then the rest are NBA. So, Brian, everybody tuning in, y'all ready to play? Let's do it. All right, so the first one. The Braves win by 3 runs tonight. Now, understand, I didn't say 3 runs or more. I said 3 runs. So understand what you're getting in this one. Yeah, I mean, it is, first off, you're playing the Dodgers. Second, winning by exactly 3 runs. Not an easy thing to do, but it pays out plus 1250. I might play this for literally like $1 or something. You know what I mean? $5, like something fun to put on there. But again, understand the low probability percentage of that one hitting. Now, to the NBA ones. All right, so I'm going to read through this list. First, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard both to score 25-plus points, plus 150. The Mavericks to win by 1 to 5 points tonight, plus 425. Luka to record a triple-double, plus 350. Paul George to score 30-plus points, plus 250. Kristaps Porzingis to record 10-plus rebounds, plus 225. Kawhi Leonard to record a double-double, plus 150. And Luka Doncic to record 10-plus assists, plus 120. So, Brian, I'm going to throw it to you first, buddy. What you got? Which ones you playing?
Okay, so let me give some stats on them first. So Luka to record a triple-double. He has 12. What happened there? Okay, there we go. He has 12 in 71 games this year, and he had one in game 1 against the Clippers. As for Luka, 10-plus assists. He's done that twice in the first 5 games of this series, 21 times in 71 games this year. Paul George to score 30-plus. He's only done it 13 times this year, but he did it 7 times in one 8-game stretch. Kawhi to get a double-double for plus 150 payout. He's already done that 2 times in this series. He's done it 11 times in 57 games this year. As for Porzingis to get 10-plus rebounds, he's done that 17 times in 48 games this year. But as I mentioned earlier, only a series high of 6 rebounds. Like, not only is he not giving them much offensively, he's not hitting the boards either. So they need more out of him big time. I'm going to go with 2 of them. I'll go with Kawhi for a double-double, and I will go with Luka for 10-plus assists. Not big payouts, plus 150 on the Kawhi double-double, plus 120 on Luka, 10-plus assists. But I think both of them will happen.
I like it. So I actually chose 3 of them, and I'm with you. First one, Luka, 10-plus assists, plus 120. I like that a lot. I think that one happens. The second one, and our friend Lucas Burks in the chat, he says Mavs 1 to 5 is good. You know what, buddy? I completely agree. I'm riding with that one as well. Add a plus 425. Again, you've got to, not only do they have to win the game, but the total, their winning margin has to fall in between 1 to 5. But I like it. Like, those are the kind of bets that are fun, for me, especially at a plus 425. So I'm going to ride that one. Also, I'm going to go with Paul George and Kawhi to both score 25-plus points tonight. Like, I think that we're going to have a high-scoring game. I think we're going to see both sides offensively aggressive. So, yeah, I'm going to ride all 3 of those. So I'm with you. Sometimes when we break these down, there are some that just don't look that good. And you're like, the numbers, like you said, Brian, when you go through the data on these, some of them just don't look good at all. Like, it's more of a risk play. But I think tonight we've got an opportunity for some really nice ones. So, yeah, you're playing 2 of them. I'm playing 3. So before we end the show, Brian, run us back through your parlay. You've got, 4 underdogs?
Just three. I'm laying off tonight's game. Yeah. So I'm going on Milwaukee as a money line underdog, plus 140. Then I'm going the Hawks, plus 115. And then I am going Denver, plus 150. And that should pay out plus 1220. Now, if the parlay does not hit, let me let you know that I am going to be betting Denver straight on Monday night. I think it's down to 4.5. I got it at 5 early this morning, but I'm fine with maybe I should check that line real quick, make sure. Yeah, here it is. I got it on money line. All right, the spread. Denver. Okay, yeah, still plus 4.5. So Denver played at Phoenix twice in the regular season. They won both times. Both games went to overtime. They won 120 to 112, 130 to 126. And when they played at home, Phoenix won, but they only won by 3. So at plus 4.5, we would be 3-0 in this head-to-head series so far this year. And the Nuggets are 5-3, both straight up and against the spread in their last 8 games as road underdogs. So I'm going Denver plus 5 on Monday night. And the parlay, again, the 3 underdogs, Atlanta, Milwaukee, and Denver on the money line pays plus 1220. And I'm also on Milwaukee plus 4 tomorrow afternoon.
Nice. I like it. And, you're talking about Denver really quickly. That game last night, I had the Nuggets plus 5. Obviously, they ended up winning outright. But I was nervous there because, in the first 5 minutes of the first quarter, Portland was just firing threes all over the place and drilling them. And I was like, man, I don't know if Denver's going to be able to hold on. But they came right back and did the exact same thing. I mean, it was like a 3 fest, in the first half. So saying that to say this, Denver's a phenomenal basketball team. Like they are so much better overall than people give them credit for. They are so much more than just Jokic, and obviously dude's the MVP, of the league. But that team, man, like they are a blast to watch. Like they could legitimately, they could run any style of how anybody wants to play against them. They're phenomenal, man.
Michael Porter Jr. was just terrific last night.
Yeah.
I think he had 22 in the first quarter, and him and Booker Booker had 33 in the first half, I want to say, last night.
Yeah. There was a
those
point
guys-
where Porter didn't miss a shot. I think he was like, he had like 5 straight threes and like 5 like free throws. Like, yeah, he was on fire, man. That kid is good. Yeah, my parlay 2-legger. I've got the Mavericks +3 tonight, and I've got the Avs and the Golden Knights over 5.5. So let us know what you guys are playing, whether in the chat, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. We really do appreciate everybody tuning in. And again, let us know what you're playing. If you've got, a line on something, shoot, let us know. We'd love to ride that with you. But yeah, everybody have a wonderful weekend. We got a lot of great sports on. And the most important thing, let's all cash some tickets. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Good luck, everybody. Have a great weekend.